Hello everybody. Now, I've been making a number of videos to share about some of the things that have been happening in my past. Today I thought maybe I will take a break just to talk about the here and now. Okay, so trying to keep a happy, upbeat, ha ha ha, because to be honest, I've been feeling quite melancholy lately, and gotta try to hold back the tears or I might have to stop this video and start a new one. And so maybe not that big a deal. I kind of make a big deal out of things, but I have been in the process of trying to get out of the house, talk to the landlord and see if they want to redo the house and let me move back in, or if I need to move. And more than likely I'm moving. I think that at the moment my decision is to go to Denver, where I will have a home base at my friend Chris's house until his bedroom opens up. So he's got a place to rent me, but somebody's in it and it's cool. It's an old friend of ours, by the way, that we've known just as long, since like 1997 we all met, right? At any rate, I have a place to go in Denver. I'm super thankful. If it wasn't for that friend, I would have a whole different mindset. So I have that kind of cushion this whole way, but it's still very challenging to imagine, moving out and going on to other things, because there's going to be kind of a window of being here and being there where I may end up just, camping out for a couple of months. Maybe I'll have slumber parties at some of my friends' houses, but that's very risky around here. The Flathead Valley's been getting a lot of scary stuff, like, weirdos trying to kidnap people and people just getting violent at random. So I really hope that I'm not, I can go camp out at some really cool places that are like free campsites, but I really hope I don't have an encounter with some junkie. Anyways, I want to share a little bit about what I have to do before I go, because at this point I'm simply sorting out my junk, sorting out my life, not only in the physical, but in my head, mentally. How am I gonna run this summer? How am I going to run this next year? So I wanted to share what I've had to do. So now, when before Rosie died and before we started clearing out the house, we had stuff everywhere. It was packed solid. So now I've been in the process of moving out. So this is not, how I would keep it. If I knew I could stay here, I would have made myself at home. It'd be a hell of a lot nicer. But the kitchen had, let me see here. So this whole middle area, it was so packed with things. She had a dishwasher. I told her, please don't buy the dishwasher. We had a table, everything packed. And then there was just a tiny trail. You have to kind of scoot sideways. So they'd have their chair right here. And then there was just like, the whole wall was like the desk, and then a big pile of stuff here. And so you'd have to kind of crab side. So there was a table right here, like a bigger table. And so you'd have to walk sideways like a crab to get through this house. So that's where the chair was. So I moved the desk from by the window into that corner to get it out of my way. And that's something that, it's a really good desk for like if you have an art studio or a workshop. But if I could take that to Denver to our art studio, we will, because Chris and I want to make an art studio. The room was packed full. Now I'm not going to go all the way in there. Everything was packed full. So over the course of the past couple of years, I've had to get rid of a lot of things. So I got a lot of work done. I still feel like, man, this is taking forever. Now these curtains, I bought these just because when Gary died, they had to put his hospital bed by the window. And I wanted the room to be pretty, otherwise not necessarily, my style. But that hanging there, that's a friend of mine gave me that. I like rainbow stuff. I always say I'm not homosexual, I'm just gay because I like rainbow stuff. I'm just a tomboy, and I'm not gay. I mean, I'm gay. I'm just not a... Oh, okay, so anyways, I gotta share upstairs. So I was living upstairs. I may have made videos about this, but this is where I was living. And so I haven't been able to unpack my things since at least 2013. I've been living like out of my boxes and out of my suitcase for over a decade. This was where my bed and my shit was. So most of my shit is in storage. That was up here. Now this is really cool. I mean, I can stand all the way up in here, at least right here, but once you go this way, bonk. And then I only have a little bit of stuff up here. I would say most of this stuff is probably donations and trash. But I'm going to clear it out just because, you know, just in case there's anything I need. I will clear it out. But I have a lot of replicas of things. For example, like the garage. I have a lot of tools out there that I don't need. Now, Rosie and Gary had some good tools that I'm going to keep. But I'm kind of sharing this, you know, like, so like if you know me and you're in the area, maybe you can come by and check some of this stuff out because I got to get rid of it. Okay, so just think, whenever I had to get up in the middle of the morning to go run to the toilet, that's what I had to do. Now, I love to climb, but not when I'm half awake in the middle of the morning. Now, the other thing I'm working on is the backyard. So I don't have a lot of stuff in there. I'm trying to keep, there's a little bit of good camping gear and prospecting gear. Otherwise, we got a lot of junk to get rid of now since, I'm going to show you the garage. So Gary had all these buckets and trash cans full of things. Now Gary was a metal scrapper, and this whole back corner was just like a big stack of, like, it was good stuff, aluminum. So I took that aluminum down to the recycle place, and I got a lot of money. So since then, I've cleared it out and put some boxes in here. And so most of this I've kind of cleared out and just put other stuff there. So that's all work that I've done. And over here, I have to clear out Gary's old workstation. This is like the last part. And so there's a lot of old tools I don't need here that I'd like to give people a chance to go through and stuff like that. And there might be some good scrap metal left in here. And I was thinking, if I could ever get that garage door open, I would drag that piano inside. Now, about that piano, I found the piano in the alley and outside of my neighbor's yard, and it's heavy as heck. So I had to drag it all the way up the alley with no help. I've got it under here, so I don't know if it's worth anything, but I brought it. And I mentioned this piano before because, let me see, what was I going to say is, I just thought I'd keep it around to play it, you know? And I've tried getting on it and playing it a couple of times. I was thinking if I stay here, by any chance, I will open up the garage door and shove it in there and then keep it around. But I really don't like playing it that much because I need a lot of practice, and I feel like my neighbors wouldn't mind if I could sit down and jam and play some good music, but I really sound like shit. So anyways, this is the first time I've had my own house with a yard. Before that, it was like, you know, either an apartment or just living with like Rosie and getting part of the place to myself. Like here, for example, I've been living in the attic and I ended up living in that little trailer back over there. And so I was hoping we would all move out so we could all have our own room and I could be like a real girl, like Pinocchio when he became a real boy, you know. But finally I get all that, and instead of being able to settle in and be able to enjoy myself, I've been supposed to be packing out of here, and I'm actually more than a year overdue. But you know, I kind of believe in karma to some extent. Maybe I was supposed to spend one more year here to have time to decompress or sort my shit out. But last summer I expected to be gone. And so I'm here again, so I'm going to try the same plan was to get my things into storage and prepare the house so that way if they want to keep me, they can, but they have to redo everything before I can move in, and they could get a lot more money for it than what I'm paying right now. So if they set the price too high, I won't want to stay here. But if they set the price at an affordable rate, I'm really interested in keeping the house. I just think there's a very slim chance. And in order for me to stay here, I also have to have a good steady income. So anyways, I want to share where I live. Yay. So we got some pretty weeds growing by our shed. So this is my yard, you know. Now, I bought that truck maybe 2016. And I'm going to tell you why. Because people tell me, why don't you get something that's more affordable? So I get this part. My neighbors get the front part. So this is really neat. These houses were so when they were building the Hungry Horse Dam, they built a bunch of these little houses for the dam workers to live in. And when they were all done with that, they sold all the little houses, and this property owner bought 2 of them. But it's a pretty little neighborhood. Right, so this is where I live. It's the corner of 8th Street West. I'm sorry, yeah, 8th Street West, boom. 3rd Avenue West. Yeah, I kind of like those numbers, you know. If you pay attention to numbers, they have some good meaning. The spirituality and the higher arts. Perhaps. Yeah, so this is what happens if you don't cut the grass. You get dandelions. They're kind of fun. Look at all my dandelions now. I used to have geese. I would build their pen over here, and after they would like kill all the grass and poop everywhere, I would reestablish them in different parts of the yard. So I'd move them around. Isn't that nice? Pretty flowers, pretty flowers. Okay, anyways, where was I? About that truck though, the booger wagon. I was telling Rosie I need to get an affordable car that doesn't take a lot of gas, and she said, you know, you need to get a truck like mine. So she had a Chevy Suburban, and I drove it around quite a bit, and she said it's worth it because it'll protect you if you ever have an accident. So this might be an example of that. So a couple of winters ago, like right in the beginning of the season, it snowed, really fresh slippery snow, and then I was in this neighborhood right as high school was letting out. I was going through an intersection where they have no stop signs, you know. And so the young man that was coming up the street I was crossing was going through his gears, and he wasn't ready to stop for me. But I thought, you know, I had right away because I got there before him. And so what I did when I started going into the intersection, and I noticed this guy was coming, and it was too late to stop. Because if I would have stopped, I would have slid right out in front of him, and he probably would have hit me in the front or the side. So I didn't want to let him hit the front end of my car. So what I did was I just tried to step on it and keep going, and I was just hoping maybe he could either avoid hitting me or I could clear it. But I couldn't get any traction. I have no 4-wheel drive. But that's from delivering pizza in the dark while it's raining, and I found somebody put a rock to mark a corner, you know, where keep me off of their grass. So that helped a lot, kept me out of their grass. At any rate, it's been a good truck. Only problem is it's having transmission issues right now, and I don't know if it's just because it's been lacking regular maintenance. I haven't taken it in for a couple of years because I was thinking I had to get rid of it after it got hit. But it's been a good truck, and I just think, you know, I'm about to make a very important decision. As soon as I get this to my transmission mechanic, they're going to examine my equipment here, and if it's a good transmission, I'm going to keep it on the road, and if it's a bad transmission, I have to get another truck. So huge decision. Here I am between jobs now. I can log into DoorDash and probably get a job slinging pizzas again. Now, if it passes, so this is the tires my truck came with. And I notice when I go by the things that, like the radars, they show you your speed, that I'm miscalibrated. So this is going slower than the speed limit says in my truck. But when I got these tires on, it's exactly calibrated. These tires are just a little bit bigger, but those have studs on them. And so what I was thinking is if my truck passes the exam, however soon I can get it in, we're kind of calling on a daily basis here, or I have to wait till the first week of June for my set appointment. At any rate, if this truck passes, I'm going to get these tires, I'm going to get these wheels set up with tires for a year round, and just use these wheels because it goes really good on my truck. And I'm going to get a couple of things fixed on it so I have good 4-wheel drive and I can go driving up the mountain. So that's what I want to do if I could get out of this house. I'm trying to do like maybe stay to the end of June. Unless I have money coming in, I might get off the property so I don't have to keep paying rent. But what I want to do is take this truck and do some camping and swimming and drive up some mountains and stuff like that. So anyways, I just wanted to share a little bit about what I'm working on here, because it's really exciting because maybe, you know, I'm gonna make a positive change in my life. It's like I've been in a cocoon, you know, like I've been stuck here. So I've been stuck here for at least a decade without even going out of the valley. My last trip out, I went to Denver 2014 and the 2015 to see Skinny Puppy and Frontline Assembly and to train at a school called Dragon Hand Martial Arts, because I was thinking about getting back into Shaolin and bringing uh, a program to to Kalispell. I wanted to be able to teach Kung Fu up here eventually. And anyways, what I want to do once I get packed up and I get some money put together is take a vacation. And there's been times that I've been able to what you call leave the area or when I was living in Denver, but it's usually just to go back to where I grew up and see my family, you know. I did take a couple of vacations to California, so I've been able to see the LA area and the San Diego area a little bit. I took a trip out to Utah to meet somebody into music that I've talked about before, got a small taste of Utah. I made a trip out to Boston in 2004 to see Skinny Puppy and meet somebody out there that I met as well who shared my interest in music. And now it's been a really long time since I've been able to take a trip someplace that is new to me. And so I'm really hoping, so we got a train station here in Whitefish and you can buy like a pass to just ride the train as long as you want for a certain period of time. I don't know, like, it just sounds like it includes a lot of opportunity to just be random, you know? And I just thought, well, if I save up my money, then I could cruise around and check that out. So that's just tentatively speaking. Like, I don't want to share all my plans. Like, this is exactly what I'm gonna do. But it sure is a nice thought. So as I'm going into this summer and as I'm making this transition, I kind of want certain people to stay in touch with me through this. And if you get the opportunity, that way you get a chance to visit me here in Montana this summer. And if I am able to like put my things in storage and travel around, I might also be able to come and visit you where you are. So that's why I'm sharing a little bit. But my truck needs to go to the shop, and if it's just a little bit of stuff and they can fix it up and it's workable, that's gonna be a much smaller hassle in the long run than actually buying a new vehicle and having a car payment or some shit. So I don't want to do that yet. Eventually, but not right now. And then we're gonna look at me going into Denver and making another home base there with my good friend Chris, and that's where we plan to set up our music studio and art studio. So I wanted to mention that I have art supplies. I have, if we're going to be sewing, I've got a sewing supplies, you know, so perhaps so Rosie did leave me a lot of useful supplies, and that's why I'm going through it carefully. I've got a library on theology. I've got paintings by her husband Howard, and those things are to me worth keeping. But then I've got a number of things in my one storage unit that I'd like to either give away or maybe get a small donation in exchange, you know, like give me some money. Come on, I had to spend my money and time keeping that shit, right? Anyways, I'm over here sorting my things out and sorting my life out all at the same time. So if you've been watching my other videos like the Jody vision, and talking about those visions, it's kind of part of that kind of sorting out your old junk, you know. We're gonna let go of what you don't need, hang on to what you do need, and I don't like to waste anything, of course. So I am going to come back and talk more about the visionary state and what I've had to do to sort that out as well. So you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.